Okay, welcome to today's stitch tutorial. Today I'm going to be sharing some tips and tricks to help you do French knots. French knots are easily one of the most dreaded embroidery stitches that people often are learning and are like, what the heck? This is very hard. And I definitely felt the same when I started embroidery, but they are truly a one-of-a-kind stitch and they create a nice 3D effect. They're so good for texture in your pieces, and they can do so many different things as you're working with them. So I think the key with French knots is really practice makes perfect, and just keep practicing. But so today I'll show you the basics of how to make one, different numbers of wraps you can do, and then a little bit about filling in spaces with clusters of French knots. So let's get started. As I do with all my stitch tutorials, you want to set yourself up for success, and you want to make sure that your fabric is really nice and tight. It should sound like a drum before you're ready to stitch. Having a tight and taut fabric always makes a difference when you're doing any kind of stitching, especially when you're learning. It'll just make sure your stitches look a lot nicer. So that's one thing to think about, and I typically try to stick with a size 5 DMC needle. It's a good length, it has a big enough eye that you can fit all 6 strands through, or less. You can also do like a size 22 or 24 chenille or tapestry needle if you're wanting to work with like all 6 strands. Kind of just depends on what you're wanting to work with. The other thing that I really like for French knots is to have some kind of embroidery stand. This is mine right here. If you ever need a link to it, I will share that. It's on Amazon, and I think it's like Amazon's choice for hand embroidery stand. But these are going to be really helpful, especially for French knots. If I'm not filming, I actually don't always use a hoop stand super often, but I do really like to use it for French knots because you really are going to be using both of your hands with this stitch. So this is helpful because you don't have to hold your hoop. So I do recommend getting one of these, especially if you're filling a large space with French knots. Alright, so today I'm going to start off with 3 strands of whatever color thread you're working with, and I'm going to show you a 1 wrap, a 2 wrap, and a 3 wrap French knot. Those are typically 3 is the max number of wraps I'll do for a French knot. You definitely can do more, but they're going to end up looking a lot looser, and that might work if you're wanting to do something like a cloud or something that doesn't need to be so shaped so nicely. But if you want your knots to look kind of uniform and nice, I like to stick with 1, 2, or 3 wraps. So here's the basics of a French knot. First of all, if I have one little spot that I'm trying to fill in, like this dot right here, I'm actually not going to come up right in the center of it. I'm going to come up right next to it, like not a stitch length away, but just right next to it. I'm going to come up through the fabric and pull my thread all the way through. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my needle underneath the thread, right underneath the dot I'm trying to fill in, and this is going to be a 1 wrap. So I'm going to wrap that thread underneath and around the needle 1 time, just like so. So I'll show you that again. I came up through the fabric, needle is underneath the thread, wrap it under and around once. Now, something really important is to keep in mind your non-stitching hand. I'm holding this thread, see right here it's loose, I'm actually pulling it so that it's tight. You don't want to pull super tight, but just pull it so that there's some tension here, okay? So then I'm going to let go of tension enough so that I can angle my needle back down towards the fabric, and then I'm going to make my down stitch. Do not go through the same hole that you came up through. You want to go down just next to that spot. So that's why I come up right next to the dot so that I can make my down stitch basically in the center of the dot. So now I've angled my needle, I've got it vertical. Now I'm going to pull pretty taut again with my non-stitching hand here to hold this excess working thread, and I'm going to begin to push my needle down through the knot And then from the other side, I'm pulling through. I am still with my non-stitching hand holding that thread at tension until I get close enough to let it go and complete the knot. So there I have one little one wrap French knot. So let's go ahead and do that with 2 wraps. So I'm going to come up right next to this. This time I'm going to wrap around 2 times. So again, I'm going to hold my needle horizontally. I'm going to wrap around 2 times this time. And obviously the more wraps you do, the bigger your French knot will be. I'm holding taut enough so that I can angle my needle right next to where I came up, push it down through the knot. I'm still holding that excess thread tight, and then I'll let go. And there's my little 2 wrap French knot. Let's try it with 3 wraps. Come up through the fabric. I'm going to wrap around 3 times this time. So underneath, wrap once, twice, 3 times, angle my needle down to the center of that dot right next to where the hole I came up through, push it down vertically, keep this taut, then let go once you're close and complete your French knot. So that's the basics of how to do a French knot by itself. The next thing I'm going to show you is just a little tip for if you're filling in a whole space with French knots. Now let's say there's a shape you want to fill in or an area you want to fill in and you want it to be all made up of French knots. So this is where they come together really well to create texture. So this is like a little flower I have right here, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in this whole circle shape with French knots. I'm using 3 strands of thread, and I'm going to do 2 wrap French knots. So let's get started. I'm going to start down here, and I'm going to go ahead and outline this whole shape with French knots. This is one thing you can do if you're going to fill in a whole space with French knots. Just to help you get like your basic shape outlined, and then that way you can kind of just haphazardly fill on the inside of like the border that you've created. So I made one French knot right here, so I'm gonna come up just a little bit farther away from this one on my outline so that I have space to make this French knot right here, and then I'll wrap around 2 times, angle my needle down and put it down right next to the previous knot so that these 2 will actually touch once the knot is created. So again, I'm going to follow the line of the circle here. I'm going to come up a little bit farther away from that one and wrap around, angle my needle down, and pull through. Alternately, you could come up right next to the one you just stitched. Just be careful not to come up through the knot. And then you could do your wraps and just go down right next to it. For some reason, for me, I like to make a little space and kind of work backwards. But that's just my preference. You could definitely do either way. So you can see I'm holding this working thread with my non-stitching hand. I'm actually kind of holding it with my finger here as I pull down and then finally letting go. I think that's one trick with French knots that might be the most helpful because then you just don't lose your knot shape as easily. But you don't need to pull super, super tight. You just want to hold some tension there. You can see French knots take up quite a lot of thread. This is a very small area I'm stitching, and I'm about halfway through the circle and I'm already running a bit low on my thread. So I'm going to finish outlining this shape. And I think once I'm done, that one got a little bit off to the side, but that's okay. I will tie off and get 3 more strands of this thread to fill in the middle here. So now that I've got my shape outlined, I can just start coming up anywhere in the middle and continuing to make my French knots until I have all the space filled in. So really just work wherever you can kind of fit your needle to come up through the fabric, and you'll just begin to start seeing your space get filled in. If you accidentally come up through a knot, it's usually fine because you can kind of just like tack it down. Like, let's see if I can purposefully come up through one. See, I purposely came up through that knot and I kind of pulled it out a little bit. But what I can do is do another French knot right where that one was, and that will sort of tack it down. It's a little bit more bulky, you can see, but once they're all clustered together, it won't be as noticeable. So that's just if you accidentally come up through one of your knots. But try not to do that. See, I tacked it down even more by making a down stitch through that big one that I had created. And I'm just kind of working wherever I please to get this all filled in. That tacking down trick is something that can be helpful if you notice that one of your French knots is really messy looking. Like on this one right here, I can see a little bit of thread coming up from it. So I could actually, on this knot, I could come up through the fabric, make my French knot, and then kind of pull that thread that's sticking out in and sort of tack it down with another French knot. So you can manipulate these a little bit and fix them up as you're even working on them. And if at the end and you have it all filled in and you look at your shape and it's not perfectly round, which by the way is fine, you can always just add more until you get the shape looking how you want it to. Something I love about filling a whole space in with French knots is it's okay if some of them end up kind of messy because at the end they're all really clustered together. But that is such nice texture that we have going on here, and it just can't be beat. French knots are so great for treetops, florals, adding little twinkle lights, as I do in many of my things, centers of flowers. You can use them even in lettering or for details. They're so unique and they're so useful in pretty much all hand embroidery projects. I'm going to show you one more thing, which is just a tip to get your French knots to get a little bit looser and fluffier. Okay, so on this little cloud-like shape, I'm going to use all 6 strands. I'm going to use a blue just so that you can see it a little bit better. And I'm using a needle that has a little bit of a larger eye here. I think this is a size 22 chenille or tapestry. So with this one, I'm just going to sort of fill as I go. I'm not going to outline the whole cloud shape, but you certainly could. So I'm going to come up through the fabric. Now, when you work with 6 strands, with whatever kind of stitch you're doing, just slow it down. 6 strands is a lot thicker and it's easier to get tangled up on itself. So just slow down what you're doing. When you're doing 6 strands, your knots are going to be a lot bigger than if you're using 1, 2, 3 strands. So I think for this one, I'm going to do 2 wrap French knots. So they're going to be nice and chunky. You could even do 3 wrap. 3 wrap knots with 6 strands is going to give you some really chunky French knots. So I'm just slowing this down and making a nice knot there. Then I'll just kind of fill as I go here. With a shape like this cloud, you could even alternate the number of wraps that you use to make it more natural using. I might come up right here and do a 3 wrap French knot. 1, 2, 3. Angle it down right next to where I came up. Hold that excess thread taut. Pull, 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 let go. So you can see these are really starting to lift up off of the fabric here. So I'm going to get this whole space filled in, and then I'll show you one more thing you can do to add a little bit more dimension to your French knots. So I finished filling in that cloud shape. The last thing I'm going to show you is just if you want to kind of make whatever area you're filling in even more 3D, you can actually build your French knots up on each other. So you just want to be careful when you're doing this to not come up right through the center of a knot you've already made, but you can kind of find like little tiny spaces and continue to fill some in and build them up on top of each other. Now it can be a little tricky sometimes to pull down through because you might be going through more thread. See, I can see like a space right here, so I'm going to come up through the fabric. I'm going to make another 3-wrap French knot. And I'm just going to see if I can get a few more in here to make this even more 3D. You can do it as much or as little as you want. So this is just extra bonus texture. So you can see it's taking me a few little pulls to pull that through there just because I'm probably going down through some extra thread. But definitely still doable. So you can see this is really just starting to build up nice and tall now. Just sort of push my needle through until I find a sweet spot that I can come up through. And there you go, that's probably about good. So you can see I really, try to show you from the side here, really built that up. This one over here, I did kind of one layer, but this one over here, I used more strands and built them up on each other so that I get more of a 3D kind of look there. So there you have it. Those are the basics of French knots. Please drop a comment or question down below if you have any, and like and subscribe my YouTube channel if you want to continue seeing lots more embroidery projects, stitch tutorials, and other types of tutorials, and just all sorts of things. And thank you. Hope you'll join me again soon.